Have people always reacted strongly to new technology? The answer, it turns out, is yes. Not always and not everyone, but often enough that a pattern begins to emerge. In the early 19th century England, groups of workers destroyed mechanized looms. These were not random acts, they were targeted responses to a changing economy that threatened skilled labor and altered long standing working conditions. As industrial systems expanded, railroads and factories were at times met with strikes, sabotage, and unrest. These were periods of real disruption, not just technological change. Even the introduction of the automobile brought resistance. Laws were passed to slow them down, communities pushed back, and people questioned what this new machine would mean for their way of life. Different technologies, different context, yet a similar thread runs through both of them. So, what are people responding to? These reactions were not always against the technology itself. In many cases, the concern was not simply the technology, but what it meant for people's work, stability, and fairness. More often, they were responses to what the technology represented, such as a loss of livelihood, a shift in required skill, a disruption of established routines, and a reduced sense of control. And understanding this does not justify destructive behavior, but it does help explain why strong reaction appears when the ground begins to shift. Notice I said pattern, not a rule. It would be wrong to say that this is how everyone responds. Most people adapt, many eventually benefit. But history shows that a subset of people respond strongly when the change they feel is threatening or destabilizing. These reactions vary in cause and intensity, but they appear often enough to suggest a reoccurring pattern. And recognizing these patterns can help us navigate the emotional landscape of the change. When we see strong reactions, it is essential to consider the underlying fears and concerns. And this understanding can foster empathy and, for sure, open dialogue. Now, effective communication plays a crucial role during times of change. It is vital to address concerns directly and transparently. When people feel heard, they are more likely to engage constructively rather than react defensively. Resiliency is the key in adapting to change. Encouraging a culture that embraces learning and flexibility can help mitigate fears. When individuals feel supported, they are more likely to view change as an opportunity rather than a threat. So, as we conclude, let's talk about a steady perspective. There is something steady about recognizing patterns like this. It reminds us that what feels sudden is often familiar, and that which feels chaotic is often part of a longer story. We are not the first to experience rapid change, and we are not the first to see strong reactions to it. That does not make every response reasonable, but it does make the moment more understandable and perhaps a little less unsettling. In the face of new technology, it is essential to approach the situation with clarity and steadiness. And by understanding the emotional responses and fostering open communication, we can navigate these changes more effectively.